Yeah. Welcome, folks. We continue with the Maimer, the Hasidic discourse that Rebbe said in 1975. One of the first Muga. Muga means checked over, and the Rebbe didn't just say it; then he worked it over and gave it out. Then in 1975, based on this week's Torah portion, Ach v'gorol yichalek es aretz. However, through Goyrel, lottery, the land is divided. So as we explained, the land of Israel is divided in three ways: through lottery, through Ruach HaKodesh, divine prophecy, which is based on the Kohen Gadol Elazar, the high priest, and the Urim V'Tumim, the breastplate that he had, that gave the indication of how the lottery should be divided, right? As opposed to the before it was taken from lottery from two boxes with the 12 tribes in one box, their name, and the territory division in another box. So the Urim V'Tumim would already dictate it, what it was with divine prophecy. And then the third is, as the verse says, those with a greater population get a greater territory, and those with a lesser population get a lesser territory, which means division rationally, right? Rationally. So these, the idea of Goro, as we explained, is something beyond our awareness, right? As a lottery doesn't come from our awareness, it's something beyond our awareness. So in our lives, we have those things that we're aware of and we take responsibility for, but even the things we're not aware of that are beyond our cognitive awareness, we're still responsible in our lives, of ourselves. And that's why Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, I don't know which path I'm taking before his passing, even though he was a very holy person, never wasted a moment in his life. Yet, on the deeper subconscious level, was he the way he should be? So that's the idea of Goro. Goro means beyond logic. It's not based on logic. It's a lottery, right? The way it comes out, well, that's what it means. So these three things that we spoke about, that the land of Israel is divided, again, by lottery beyond rationale, by rationale, and by divine prophecy. The three things that the land is divided by, well, Eretz Israel was given to the people of Israel, so too are the people of Israel have these three components, these aspects in them. It reflects us because we reflect Israel. We have it in us because it reflects Israel, so therefore it's a part of us. And all of this, of course, is in order. These three components in our lives that are of the land of Israel are also there in order that we can serve God properly. So let's understand this idea, and it's based on on that which just recently happened. Yud Beis Yud Gimel Tammuz, 12th and 13th of Tammuz, the day that the previous Rebbe in 1927 was released from Soviet prison. So we're still, in the effect of those days. So these three aspects, these three levels, if you will, of the Jewish people, let us understand it with some metaphor. Water. Water is life, right? So you have the wellspring of water, the wellspring of the Gan, of the garden, and which is live water, living waters. Then you have the drip of water, right? Which reminds you, I have to check it. I think we had a little drip somewhere coming. I'm gonna find it. The drip of water is the idea of mazel, because in Hebrew, noizel means drip. Same root word as mazel. Mazel means the way things are from above and how they drip down below. That's what mazel means. Like mazel tov or oi, I had no mazel today. What does it mean? I had no luck, people would say, but no luck. That's how they would translate it. But it means whatever was upstairs only dripped a little drip down here. Whatever was meant, or there is in the spiritual realm, only came down here in little drips and drabs, as the saying goes, which is the idea of something that's beyond us, right? Like the Goro. Oh, Goro, my lottery dripped down, minimally. Or, oh, really came down, that's the idea of mazel. What drips from above, that's beyond us. So another form of water. So when we remember this is a reference to the Jewish people. So the wellspring of water, right, which is a source of water, is the way the soul is before it comes down into this world, right? That the name of souls, the way they are before they come down into this world, is daughters of Jerusalem. Why daughters of Jerusalem? For daughter, because a daughter is a recipient. Daughter, we learned this in the previous mimer, right? About mother, sister, daughter. Daughter is a recipient. A daughter has nothing of her own. She lives off, from the family, right? The concept of daughter. We're not talking about, could a daughter go to work and make more money than the father? Obviously, right? But the metaphor of daughter, right? 6-year-old girl, a daughter, she's got nothing of her own. Everything she has is she's given. So that's the soul, has nothing of its own. Everything it's given is from God, is from above. And it's called, the way the soul is above is Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. Yire Shalem. Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, is made up of two words, Yira, fear, Shalem, complete. Complete sense of fear. What does that mean, complete sense of fear? Because the presence of God is so real and so palpable for the source, the way it is above, right? A recipient, his daughter is a recipient of the divine light of God. It's so powerful in its root source, not the way it's in a body, right? We have a soul that's not in a body. Even right now, we have the root of our soul that is beyond our body. Even at this moment. And that's complete Yerushalayim, daughters of Jerusalem, that their complete sense of presence of God Shalem, right? Yira, complete fear. Again, fear, as we mentioned many times, is not fear of punishment, but fear of separation, or actually, no, fear of presence. That the presence of the divine is awesome. That's the way the soul is in its root source. And then you have the way the soul comes down into a body, into the material world. Well, again, water, life. The soul is life. So here in the metaphor of water, right? So we have the well springs, which is this, the well springs of waters that are, again, the source of where souls come from above before it comes down into a body. But now we have it in the body. And that is like wells that are deep down in the ground, not a gushing wellspring above ground, right? Which is the way the soul is above. It's above ground, but deep down in the ground, right? Which ground, earth, of the four elements is the lowest, or the lowest, it's the heaviest. No, it's the heaviest, may not be the heaviest. Water might be heavier, but it's the it's the word I'm looking. There's an English word, dense. Thank you. It's the most dense. So it shows on the most material. It's the most materialistic, right? More than fire, more than air, and more than water, right? So, and you have water deep down. Sorry. You have water deep down, right? Water that's deep down, which means, so you have the soul, water, deep down in the ground, meaning as it comes into the body. And even though it's coming deep down, of course, that descent is ultimately for a greater ascent. That's why it comes down. It doesn't come down, to lose, but it comes down in order they can have a greater ascent as a result and become even greater than it was originally in its root source above, being the daughters of Jerusalem, being the metaphorically like in the garden, the wellspring in the garden that's above ground. And this is the idea that King Solomon said, Shcheirani v'nava b'nei Yerushalayim. Black I am. I'm black and beautiful. Daughters of Jerusalem. That the neshama, the soul, the way it comes down to be in a body and an animal soul together, it says to the neshama, right? That aspect of the neshama says to the aspect of the neshama that is b'nei Yerushalayim, right? The daughter of Jerusalem, meaning the soul, the way it is above, which is pure, that I am black, right? Meaning, what do you mean I'm black? Black metaphorically, meaning like the earth that, is dense, is concealing black conceals on light. Right? World War II in Britain, when the Nazis, Yimach Shemam, came and were bombing Britain, what did they do? They blackened their windows, let no light in. So black is not letting the light in. So the soul says, I am black. I am darkened because I am a soul now down here in a body and an animal soul that is covering over the divine within me. But I'm beautiful. But I'm still beautiful. This is like the water deep down in the ground. Water deep down in the ground. You have well springs there. You have springs there too. Tributaries of water that go through the ground, and even the ground is concealing, hiding the water. But by going through the tributaries down below, it actually becomes refined water, right? It's better drinking water. It's the best drinking water, right? The opposite. It becomes not only good drinking water, but it halachically becomes what we call Maim Chaim, living waters. Living waters, meaning that's even better than wellspring waters that are above ground. Because those, as the Mishnah tells us, that Mayim Chaim, these living waters that are from the tributaries down below, that those waters become more refined, right? Now, I'm not certain the bottled water that you get that they call it, they should call it Mayim Chaim, living waters, right? And they claim that they come from the depths of the, from below, because there it becomes much cleaner and refined water. I don't know if that's where it's really taken from, but whatever. But someone who becomes a Mitzaira, for example, has skin disease and needs to be cleansed, become purified, well, they need Maim Chaim. They need this kind of water, right? This tributary that comes from below. Right. And this that comes, the Arizal's mikvah in Tzvas is actually it's a tributary from below, and it rises up, and it flows through. It's like a flow through mikvah, right? That is the highest level of a mikvah that brings purity to the impure. That which a regular, wellspring won't, it does. So why? Because as we said, the soul coming down into this world, even though it's coming to a body, deep down into the earth, covered over, it's black, blacking out the light of God. Yet in that space, and in that situation of life, is where black is beautiful. The soul tells the soul down here, tells the soul up there. That tributary of water becomes life-giving, because now through all of that difficulty, we are elevated to a higher level than the soul was even before it came to, even to a greater place than Benois Yerushalayim, where the soul comes from. Of course, and this is what the verse says, through removing all of the concealment, separation, by digging, as the verse says, that the princes dig, and those of giving of the nation, they also dig. By digging deep, meaning removing all of the concealment. So now you can come by digging in the ground. You can now come to that wellspring of life, that tributary that's below. You dig and get to that tributary, and it brings life. So likewise, we dig princes, meaning leaders, meaning those of the mind. We use our mind, and those of giving giving of the people, meaning you use your heart, your mind, and your heart. You dig deep inside of it, and you'll be able to then remove yourself from all of the negativity of any negativity, any evil, and you will do good. And through this, now the soul will be elevated to a much more lofty place than it was before it came down into this world. Until it becomes, yeah. Okay, we'll stop here. Very powerful. And today's a fast day. Okay, welcome, folks. Yeah, today the tablets were broken. Yes. So it's going to be a longer davening. So till we come to Chumash, Rashi, it'll be a bit longer. Okay, we'll see you.